You guys all know Imperialdramon. It's a pretty common deck nowadays, but that's just the blue jamming version. We don't have much love for the green Imperialdramon. Today we're going to love the deck a little bit and talk about just how amazing it is. It pierces right through your opponent, destroys their existence, and makes them sad. So let's talk about it. What's up, guys? We're going to share with you Green Imperialdramon today. I played this deck a lot in the prior week to test the ratios out, played a lot of test matches, played in locals. I went 4-0 plus won a match after that, and then made some changes along the way because, you know, I was trying to perfect the deck. I think this version of the deck, which you're about to see, is as perfect as it gets. Everything works. It's seamless, it's perfectly fluid. You know, you play it, you feel like you're having a great time just smashing through your opponent, and they really can't do anything about it, just unless they open way better than you or you brick, which barely happens actually, which is really fun. So today we're going to talk about what this deck does, how it's so great, talk about the matchups, and go over the deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn that notification bell into Smash Potatoes, that way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos come out. But yeah, this deck is a force of nature to be reckoned with. I'm really happy to show it off, so let's get to it. Starting things off with our babies here, we play 4 of the Minomon. If it attacks one of your opponent's Digimon, it gets a plus 1,000 for the turn. And it does stack, so if you attack multiple things, it gets another 1,000. It's really good. Our 5th baby is an Argomon. If it unsuspends at the start of your unsuspend phase, it gains a memory. This is obviously worse than this in this deck, because you just want big attacks. But it's honestly fine. So those are our babies. We play 14 level 3s, starting with 4 of the Green Togglemon, get plus 1,000 inheritable. We play 4 of the 2-drop Argomon because it's a 2-drop. That's it for our 2-drops. We play 2 Palmon. On play, look at the top 3, add level 4 to your hand. It's not perfectly reliable, otherwise we play a lot more. But sometimes we have an on play, we have the memory, and we might as well just use it. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's just a 3-drop, whatever. We play 2 Terriermon. The card that says your opponent can't gain memory except with tamer effects comes up a lot, so you want to have some. And we play 2 Tentomon. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon at 3,000 DP or less. Really good against Rookie Rush or anyone actually trying to Rookie Rush you, anything like that. And it gets some extra dudes suspended for you to run over later with piercing maybe. So that's really fun. That's it for level 3s. Level 4s. We play 4 Stingmon. Now, you might be asking, what's Stingmon? What is this? Well, it's a 1 cost to evolve. It's 5,000. It's a your turn, once per turn inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives the battle, you gain a memory. That's a really good card. So eventually, when your Imperialdramon or even your level 5s attack over a Digimon, you gain a memory just for that. It's once per turn, but every memory you give green, honestly, is just an extra memory you shouldn't have because it's just way too much. So having the extra memory is really good. That's why we're playing 4 of it. We're playing 3 Togglemon. Reveal top 3 and add a level 5 or higher Digimon to your hand. It doesn't have to be green. And we do play some blue cards in this deck, which is really, really fun. So yeah, you can add any level 5 or higher. This is a little more reliable than Palmon, which is why we're playing 3 of it as opposed to 2. And we really need to see our level 5 and 6 combo pieces, because it is all about your stack. You gotta build the right stack. So Togglemon is very important. I was playing it at 4 eventually at one point, but I dropped it down to 3. We're playing 2 Terriermon. Costs 1 to evolve, and its inheritable says it gets 1,000 DP for every suspended Digimon your opponent controls. So it can get pretty big. Finally, 2 Blocker. We play 2 because we don't need 4. We're going to solve this problem a little later in deck profile. Don't worry, we are playing 4 blockers in deck, but we're just only playing 2 of the level 4 one, and that's honestly fine. This was the ratio that ended up being perfect. This is like the worst level 4 in the deck. I hate evolving into this, but sometimes you have to survive. So that's just what it is. And you gotta have the blockers. They're just there because they gotta be. But yeah, we play 2 of this one, and we'll go back to this in a second. 10 level 5s. We play 4 Dino Beamon, has piercing jamming, so that's good. We play 4 Paildramon, it has jamming, and inheritable once per turn when attacking. If this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, unsuspend it. So this allows you to get an extra attack with your Imperialdramons, which are good. Typically, with a Green Imperialdramon, you need to attack security first to get the most value out of it. It depends on the play. Sometimes you don't want to. Whatever. That's just how it is. Our last 2 level 5s are 2 Cherrymon. So it's a blocker. It's the level 5 blocker that costs 2 to evolve. I love this card. I play these 8 cards because they're good and you have to play those 8. But Cherrymon is a blocker, which saves me sometimes. It doesn't cost in memory to attack, which is good. And it costs 2 to evolve, which is very, very, very important. Sometimes that makes a difference between choking the opponent at 1, or maybe even being able to play another card on your turn. This card is an MVP. Seriously, I would not play this deck without a couple of these. It is so good. It's even got a little mustache. How can you not love that mustache? Anyway, this card's really good. Play it, and that's it for our 5s. We play 7 level 6s, starting with the big boss, Imperialdramon. So, this Green Imperialdramon, the Seeker one, it costs 3 to evolve if you're evolving it onto one of these dudes, your Paildramon or Dinobeamon. It has Piercing, so that's good. And it has a once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle and survives, you unsuspend it. So effectively you get 2 attacks, guaranteed, as long as your first attack deletes a Digimon. And it checks 2 securities because of Piercing. So that's the whole gimmick behind the deck. It's really good, and this deck is built to support that really well. We play one of the blue Imperialdramon, just because in this deck it might not be expected. People will assume you're playing the green one all the time. They may not account for this. So just swinging that and just getting multiple attacks with jamming can win games, especially if you can line it up with this. This is the intended partner for this one, definitely. So it's there for the surprise wow factor, and it wins games. It's there, it's a good card. But I'd only play one because the deck is focused around this. This is just really win more at that point. Lastly, 2 Bancho Stingmon to help with the Omnimon matchup, the Megazoo matchup. Anything that has, 12,000 DP or more, you get an extra 2 security checks with Piercing. Then it becomes 16,000. You needed to check those matchups because sometimes Imperialdramon can't attack over them. Imperialdramon can't attack over Omnimons or things like that. But this can, so that's really good. And honestly, 2 is a perfect ratio. At 1 I wasn't seeing it enough, but at 2 I see it often enough. So that's it for the leveled 6s, that's it for the Digimon. For our Tamers, we're playing 2 Mimi, and we're playing 1 Davis. So I was hovering back and forth. Originally I was playing 2 and 2, but then I was playing 2 and 1. When I dropped this down to 1, I really missed Mimi, because it brings the deck's aggression to a whole nother level by just being able to play more rookies from your breeding area, that type of thing. So I opted for 2 of this and 1 of this. It is really nice to search the top 3 cards of your deck and add a card. It does add a combo piece. Sometimes it adds 2, because that can add blue or green, right? And these are there to have the 3 memory at the start of your turn. Because ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to have an Imperialdramon, but you'll have something like one of these on your breeding area or whatever. So you have the 3 memory, you start your turn, you bring this up, you evolve, and then you can start, swinging. That's kind of the whole point behind the Tamers. That's why they're there. They're kind of mandatory in this deck. And these are the best ones. Extra aggression wins games, and this is just good for consistency. That's it for our Tamers. We don't need any more than these. Options. We're playing 1 Flower Cannon, 2 Flower Cannon, 4 Flower Cannons. I'm still debating which art I like the most. This is a mess. I need to pick an art. I need to choose an art. What art looks the best? Leave it in the comments. We need to fix this so all this multiple art thing isn't going on. But being able to have Flower Cannon security, as you know, is kind of a bomb. It's really hard for an opponent to deal with, and sometimes wins the game by itself. And being able to suspend something while you have your green Imperialdramon, this guy, it's really good. Like, you suspend something, you kill it, you stand again, you attack again. Flower Cannon has a huge amount of synergy in this deck, and I think you have to play 4. I was trying 3, but 4 is just 100% the better number. That's kind of how it is, and I wouldn't change a single thing about it. Our last card is 1 Hidden Potential Discovered. It is at 1, so we have to play 1. This is the card that says the next time one of your green Digimon digivolves this turn, you can suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost by 5. That's very good. It allows you to evolve an Imperialdramon onto a Cherrymon for free, so that's kind of cool if you need to do that. But more importantly, it skips the 3 memory requirement, and if you have a Tamer on the field and you get Imperialdramon, thanks to Hidden Potential for free, you can Flower Cannon, and you can really punish the opponent. Anytime this combo resolved, I won that game, and it didn't last much longer after that. Yeah, Hidden Potential is a great card. This deck would be a whole lot better if it was at 4. I was trying this deck back when the set came out, when this was still at 4, and oh, it's insane. I never got around to making a deck, to profile about it, and I just decided not to because, you know, this was going to 1 anyway. But at the end of the day, very good card. You need to play it, and that's it. So let's talk about the deck real quick. So that's kind of it. That's Green Imperialdramon. The matchups are pretty good, I'm not going to lie. This has beat every Tier 1 deck right now. Briefly, Shine Greymon, don't let them get Shine Greymon on the field, you know, and that's kind of okay. Or keep your guy in the breeding area until they Shine Greymon, then bring it out and punish them. It's really easy to maneuver around them, actually. And if you're chipping away at them over time, it's perfectly fine. So there's that. Red Omnimon, or any deck that plays a lot of 12,000s, you got Bancho Stingmon to help you out. Alternatively, you can just attack the little guys with flower cannons or whatever until you win. Because that way, hopefully they don't get level 6s, and then level 7s on the field. Because if they get Omnimon, you need Bancho Stingmon, or a really good stack on your Imperialdramon. So it's kind of difficult, but it's pretty good. Rookie Rush, they'll just kind of die to your security. If they don't, you pierce over these guys. Pretty simple. And then Flower Cannon security kind of wins you the game. And you have blockers to help start them off. I think this deck does pretty well against Rookie Rush. I haven't had any problems, so that's good. And on the subject of red-yellow control, because that is a more popular deck nowadays, really, I just try to go wide, as green can do quite well, and I'll just ram at them more than they can kill my guys. And eventually I grind them out and I win. So that's the matchup. The only times this game lost a match in testing was when it bricked really badly. So I had no way of telling if it was the deck, or if it was the matchup, or whatever. But when this deck draws optimally, or even half subpar, I'd say, you can beat the other decks just fine. So I think that's a good testament for the deck, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. As always, thanks for coming out, guys, and we'll see you next time. Take care.